Another thing that's also important that I was actually helping out a startup company, very successful so far, and they actually incorporated a program, I guess, like culture awareness. So
Okay.
you're learning a little bit about different cultures, their holidays, their food. And it's like education so that you can relate to your colleagues in that way, depending on their culture. Instead of just trying to learn on your own, the company is actually giving that opportunity depending on the type of races that they have within the company.
Okay. Yeah, that'll definitely help out.
Hmm.
What should you do if you see your employee or a colleague, you can tell they're stressed out? They're showing you signs that something's wrong. What should you do?
As a manager, schedule that one on one.
Okay.
Schedule that one on one time to understand, where the stress is coming from. Is it coming from the workplace? Do we have too much on your desk? Or is it coming from your personal life? And then once we figure out what that issue may be that's causing the stress, then we can find a solution to that problem. And so, what we'll do is we'll work together to create that plan. So, if you do have too much on your desk because you have a lot going on at home, then we're going to take half of your work off and let's see how you can manage and maneuver through that before we give you back your full desk. But of course, it's going to be a timeline because we don't know what could be going on. Maybe they just lost their mother, their father, a sister, their daughter, their son. We really don't know what is actually going on. Maybe they have some health issues that they are trying to get over as well. So, understanding where that stress is coming from and how you guys together can come to a solution to get them back on track. So immediately schedule that one-on-one and have that relationship with your employee as well. You should know your employee like a friend because you guys are spending so much time together working than you are, at home with your family.
Could not agree more. You have to just ask what's going on because you could lose a good employee that goes somewhere else because they're just stressed out at the moment, or something happened in a meeting, or it could be so many different things, and you could take care of it immediately, or it could fester for months.
Hmm.
And now their productivity drops and things of that. It happens more often than people think.
Yep.
Look for those signs. Hey, like everything all right, and then they confide in you because a lot of people it takes time for them to open up because a lot of people have a lot of bad stories when it comes to different places that they've worked.
Hmm.
It hasn't always been good, but now they're working for you and you care. So at this point, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, okay, what do you need? What can we help do?
Right.
Completely agree with you. Could not agree with you more. So now I'm going to throw a couple curveball questions that she does not know is coming at her. So we talked about you're going to start and I'm going to also be part of the resume writing platform. Please give a tip of something everybody needs to take off their resume. I'm going to start.
Oh, I have one for you.
Huh?
One thing that someone can take off, and I know you probably want to go a little bit deeper than that, but is your address. You do not have to have your complete address on your resume. And let me tell you why. You never know who is looking at your resume. And you really don't know. And I know someone who actually had someone from a company show up to their house because their address was on their resume. Okay. Another thing you don't have to do is have your picture, because if you have your picture in your address, then guess what? They're going to show up to your house. And the last thing I would also say, I know you said one thing, but I'm going to give you one more is if you are, older, and let's say you have your master's, bachelor's, or your master's degree, you do not have to put the year you graduated high school. And sometimes you don't even have to put that your high. I don't even put that on resumes. If you have a bachelor's degree, this is what it is. And depending on how long you graduated from your university or college, then I may put the year up there, especially if you're fresh. But if you've been in the market for 10 plus years, then there's no need to put a year up there as well.
All good ones. But if I see somebody put hardworking on their resume one more time, what's the opposite? I'm lazy. Like putting hardworking. Me and you both have videos from last year, action verbs. Go look those up. Please look up strong action verbs.
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people have really good resumes, they're just weak. So those are my two things: quit putting hard working, and then come up with some action verbs.
Some really good ones.
Now, one other question, and this is the last one, I promise, because you look on your face. What is one thing people need to stop doing during interviews that drives you crazy? I'll go first. Please know what company you are interviewing with.
Oh,
Let's just start with that. You have no idea. Could you please tell me who you like? If you have now, this is the thing. I'll give you an example where you're okay. If I call you out the blue and you don't know what's coming, you're absolutely okay.
right.
But we set up time. If we set up time and I call you 1 o'clock tomorrow, because that's the time we set up, you're going to get an email confirmation, all of that. It should be on your phone or your computer, however you log it. When I call, don't ask who I am and who I'm calling from.
Mm-hmm.
You just drop your chance of getting this job or getting to the next level by 50% if you're with a recruiter that's like me. At this point, I'm turned off completely.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is one thing that you would like to give people that they should not do on interviews?
Well, what you said was the top one, because the first thing when we ask, so share with me what you know about the company. Well, what company is this? What position am I applying for? And this is a scheduled interview, okay? And don't think it's just entry level people doing this, okay? We got people who've been in the business for 20 plus years, and they still like, I'm not sure what position I applied for. Those two things right there, and then another thing. There is so many. And one, I will say this, and this is to help you as a candidate, is don't rush the recruiter because you don't think they know as much as you. Depending on whatever level role that you're applying to, don't rush a recruiter because that shows a lot about you, your character, and how you're going to represent that department. So if you're a scientist and you're talking to a recruiter who might not know much about what you do, don't rush them just so you can hurry up and get to a hiring manager who understands your language. Talk to that recruiter because they want to make sure it's going to be a great fit and they can tell. Or an executive level. And you get that a lot though on an executive level. Sometimes they may want to rush you because they're ready to talk to a VP or a CEO or on that level as well. But then you have those who really are interested in talking to recruiters because they know they can get all the information up front before they meet with, that decision maker. So one thing I will say is when you are going through that phone interview process or that one-on-one interview with a recruiter, do not rush or try to rush them off the phone, and do not try to rush that interview. Let the recruiter manage that because most of the time they have time gaps and they got to get prepared for the next interview. But if they're feeling like you're rushing and you're not engaging, then you just X yourself out of moving forward to the next round because recruiters have a lot more say than what you think.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate your time.
Thank
What
you.
do you have coming up?
So what we have coming up is the resume writing course that is going live on July the 11th. So in the next few weeks, you're going to actually see a lot more advertisement about how you can enroll. We're thinking about doing maybe the first 10 people may get 50% off the program. Just stay on our page, on Wilford's page, on my page, and you'll see that course coming out. It is a self-taught course. But at the end of the course, you will either meet with me or Wilfred to get you set up with either my company or his company to do professional resumes for us.
How can everybody find you?
You can find me across all platforms, global_placement_service with no S on the end.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for today. I definitely appreciate your time, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.